Hello friends, it's Scott from Flat River Keto. If you're new to my channel, welcome. On my channel, you get to come along for the ride on my keto journey and my health journey, really. And that's one of the things that I want to talk to you guys about today. For those of you who have actually been following along, if you're not new to my channel, you know that I haven't been sharing updates with you hardly at all lately. I finally got back last week to sharing a few short videos with you, but I hadn't even shared a short video in about 40 days, which is over a month. And I had kind of started to wonder to myself if I was going to keep this channel going or if I was just going to kind of let it go. Um, Now, part of that, of course, had to do with I was struggling a bit on my health journey, and obviously, this channel is about my health journey. And because of my struggles, I sort of said to myself, "Well, maybe it's time to retire this channel." Because the health journey hasn't been going well. And I gave that a lot of thought. I also was feeling kind of resigned in my health journey. I wouldn't say that I quite gave up, but I got close. I've shared with you guys many times over these last coming around on 5 years as I've been working on my health or trying to work on my health that you only lose if you quit. And I'm not quitting. I almost quit, but I didn't quite. But I really had a struggle. Things have not gone well. Those of you who are not new to the channel, who've been here for a long time, know that I've been through a lot in the last year. There's been some loss, some health challenges for other family members, and it's just been hard. And throughout that time, I've put on most of the weight and gained back most of the fat that I took off over the preceding 3 years. I'm actually within, or at least I was within about 50 pounds of where I started, which is not great as a person who lost almost 200 pounds. Um, so it was pretty disheartening, and I was feeling really stuck. I will tell you guys that keto was one thing that has really helped me a lot. Obviously, especially over the last 4 or 5 years, and I like it. I think it's a good way to eat. Having said that, I got stuck, and whether it was just what I was going through in my own life, or for whatever reason, I kept trying to restart and restart and restart, and it just wasn't successful at all. Um, to the point, obviously, as I mentioned, where I mentioned that I gained back probably 150 almost pounds of the nearly 200 that I had lost. And of that, I probably gained back between 75 and 100 pounds in the last like 8 months, um, since the middle of last year to, fairly recently. And so things just hadn't been going well. And as I'd continued to try to restart and restart and restart, I was feeling very stuck. And so I decided, I talked with my doctor, and I decided that I was going to give these GLP-1s a try. It's funny, as I contemplated to myself whether I was going to keep this channel going, whether I was going to share that information with you guys, which is part of my health journey, of course. Um, but it seems like cheating or quitting, to get help from a medication. Having said that, I felt and have felt so stuck that I really wanted to try something, actually. And when I went and talked to my doctor, that's one of the things that he asked me, um, why I was wanting to give the GLP-1s a try. And I said, well, hey, look at me. No, what I actually said to him was that while I had been trying for a long time and had had some success, um, in the more recent past, I had been trying really hard to kind of restart and get a kickstart and get a jump in the right direction. I just hadn't had any success with that. And so I am trying this medication, which is very interesting what it does. From a person who has been um, using keto to help because of the fact that keto helps to quiet the carb monster, sugar monster that exists within me. It's been very interesting to take a medication that quiets that in a different way. And I will tell you guys what's been really hard for me as I've started with the GLP-1 medication has been that I've had very little appetite, but I have 40 years of how I am used to eating. Probably not 40 years, but a good 30, 35 since I was a teenager, and started eating the way that I eat now, or that I ate to get to the size that I've gotten to. And so having this medication that is suddenly shut that off has been so strange. And it's been very interesting to get in touch with my hunger cues as my hunger cues have kind of gone away. Again, there's so much muscle memory, for lack of a better term, to how much I should eat that even with these internal feelings and signals that says, "Hey, you're full," like knock it off. It's been very easy as I've started this to still overeat a little bit and to be really uncomfortable because I'm so used to eating a certain amount, whether it be keto food or whether it be other types of food. I'm so used to eating a certain amount that it's really been a struggle. It's been very interesting, though, to me to think about being in touch with my hunger cues. It was one of those things where I almost felt like I was cheating with keto and carnivore, because I could eat till I really was stuffed full almost, and I could still lose weight. And I'm not saying that that's really cheating, and I'm not saying that using GLP-1s is cheating. There's no cheating, guys. We're all on this little journey that we call life. We're all doing the best that we can, and we're all just trying to have success. If there are those of you who are somehow offended that I've decided to try to use a medication to help me out on my journey, then you could go somewhere else to find somebody to follow along with. I suppose my plan as far as eating goes is still to eat keto, low carb. I know that in the long term for me, that's going to be the way that I'm going to be able to be successful throughout the rest of my life. And I know that as I transition off of this medication, because I don't want to stay on this medication for the rest of my life, I really wanted to use it as a way to get me unstuck. Now, in talking with my doctor, my plan is really to spend a year on this medication and kind of see where I'm at and go from there. But from a nutrition perspective, my plan is to continue to be keto, low carb. Now, does that mean that I'm never going to have some of those things that are outside of the keto, low carb sphere? No. And with what the GLP-1 kind of does to my appetite, I'm a little less scared of if I do happen to go off of my eating plan, because what the medication does is it really quiets those hunger signals that I have, so that if I do happen to eat a scoop of ice cream, something like that, it can be a scoop of ice cream rather than a whole carton of ice cream. So, yeah, that's the direction that I'm headed. Again, wanted to get that out in the open. It's really funny. I think that happens sometimes when somebody has maybe been doing that for 6 months or something. All of a sudden, they've lost a lot of weight. And those of you who follow along and watch these kinds of videos kind of maybe feel lied to. I'm telling you right at the beginning, I've been doing this just for a couple of weeks. As a matter of fact, I tried one GLP-1 medication that really made me sick, like really sick. For a couple of weeks, and we switched to a different one, and it has been much, much better for me. So, but I wanted to share this with you. I wanted to share as part of my journey with you. Once I had really made the decision that I was going to continue to share my health journey with you, and that I was going to keep this channel going, one of the first things that I did want to share with you was the fact that I am utilizing this medication as a tool in my tool bag to help me along on my health journey. I am right here at the end of tax season. I've got 2 weeks left to go. Well, a little over 2 weeks. People always ask me that this time of year, like as if I'm counting down the days, and I'm not really, because there is so much work to do between now and April 15th that thinking about how many days I have left just gives me anxiety. But I am almost to the end of tax season. That is a very stressful season for me. Hopefully when I get finished with that, I'll have a little bit more time to devote to my channel. My plan is to hopefully have at least one update with you guys, a longer form video. I'm going to continue to share short videos and reels and those kind of things on Instagram and Facebook and on my YouTube channel. But I'm hoping to get you guys some more of these longer form updates. I know that like an hour long video is probably crazy long, but something in the 10 to 15 minute range, which is what I usually do, I'm hoping to share with you guys once a week. But that's where I'm at, and that's what I'm doing. The one other thing that I'm doing, for those of you who follow along with my short videos, you know that after literally like a month of not really getting any exercise at all, I'm getting back to walking again, walking in the morning with my dogs. Hopefully going to do that a little bit and get back to rucking. I also want to do my DDPY workouts, but I'm just going to kind of slowly phase that back in, as I have phased it out and my body can only handle so much. I will say that one thing I was really struggling with was plantar fasciitis, and it really did slow me down and hinder my progress. I've kind of read some things on some things that I can do, and I'm really going to focus on um, kind of trying to massage my foot every night, trying to get the blood flow going a little better down there, and hopefully doing that every day for 5 minutes. Doing that out here over a month, I can continue to resolve that. I've already felt a little bit better after reading up on that some and trying that. So, but that's the plan from a movement perspective. I'm hoping to get back to all the things that I used to do, but it's going to take some time. Just as kind of easing back into the nutrition portion of my health journey is going to take some time. I really appreciate all those of you who've been along with me for the ride on this journey. It's had its ups and downs, and I don't know if you'd call it an up or a down to think of where I'm at right now on my weight part of my journey. It's very up, but I'm not feeling very up about it. But it's a journey, and I appreciate you being along for the ride. We're going to continue moving forward, not giving up, not quitting. Thanks for being here day by day. Keep calling keto on, my friends. We'll talk to you again soon.